Welcome to the video lecture on higher order functions. Myself is Priyanka Madanlal Channapattan, working as assistant professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department at Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. Now let us see learning outcome. At the end of this session, student will be able to define and implement higher order function in Python and apply the filter function to filter iterables and write more concise code. Next, we will see higher order function. A function is called as a higher order function if it takes one or more functions as an argument or return a function as its result. That is, functions that take a function as an argument or return a function is called as a higher order functions. Simply, a function which operate on other functions is called as a higher order function. Next, we will see higher order function with an example and passing a function as an argument. Consider this is an example. In this example, we have function called display which take another function as an argument. Next, we have declared another function sub with two arguments number 1 and number 2. This sub function return the result as a subtraction of two numbers. Next, we are calling display function by passing sub function as an argument. When you pass function as an argument to display function, it becomes a higher order function because it accepts other function as an parameter. Within display function, we are calling sub function with argument 10 and 5 and it returns the subtraction as the result. When you run this program, it prints the output of the subtraction which is 5. In this example, display function is called as a higher order function because it takes function as an argument. Next, we can also return a function from a function. Inside the display function, if we create a new function with the name function C, the inner function supposed to print some message. The inner function return the function from the display function using a return keyword. In this example also, display function is called higher order function because it returns a function. If a function satisfies any one of the two conditions, that is the function which take function as an argument and return the function as its result is called as a higher order function. Next, we will see some important built-in higher order functions. There is a built-in module called function tool which contain lots of built-in higher order function. These are some important built-in higher order function, that is filter, map, reduce. The filter function is used to filter element from an iteratable like a list or tuple based on a specified condition. It is useful when we want to extract specific values from an iteratable. Next, map. Map function is used to transform values in an iteratable by applying a specified function to each element. It is useful when you want to perform an operation on every element of an iteratable. Next, reduce function. Reduce function is used to aggregate values in an iteratable to produce a single output. It is useful when you want to combine the elements of an iteratable into single value. In short, filter function filter elements, map function transform the values, reduce function aggregate values to produce a single output. In this video lecture, we will see filter function in detail. Next, filter function. Filter function is used to extract element from an iteratable like a list, tuple or set that satisfies a given condition. It works by applying a function to each element and keeping only those from which function returns true. The filter function helps you to filter out element from an iteratable based on a specific condition. Next we will see syntax of filter function. The filter function takes two parameters. First parameter is the function that defines filtering logic or condition. The function must return a boolean value. The second parameter is a iteratable. This is any iteratable object. For example, list, tuple, set, string. Those elements are to be filtered. The filter function applies the given function to each element of an iteratable. If the function returns the true for an element, that element is included in the output iterator. If the function returns false for an element, that element is excluded from the output iterator. The filter function return a filter object which is an iterator. This iterator else only those elements from the original iteratable for which the function return true. To view the element as a list or tuple or any other collection type, the filter object must be explicitly converted using the respective constructor. Next we will see think and write question. The question is what type of function is required as the first argument to the filter function. The options are option a function that return a value, option B, a function that take multiple arguments, option C, a function that return true or false, option D, a function that modifies the iteratable. Pause the video and write your answer. The answer is option C, a function that return true or false. Next we will see an example. Our task is to filter even number from the list. For example, we have a list containing elements 24, 21, 36, 54, 59 and 90. The requirement is to filter the even number from this list. We will use the filter function which take the two parameter. First parameter is the function name with the filtering logic and second parameter is the list to be filtered. The filter function iterates over each element from the list, apply the logic of the function. If the function return the true, that element is to be included in the filtered object. If the function return the false, that element is the skipped. Finally, we will get the filter object containing the even numbers 24, 36, 54 and 90. Next we will see the program for filter even number from the list. First we have defined a function is even that checks if the number is even when the number is divided by 2, that is if remainder is 0, then the number is even, otherwise odd number. Next we have created list of number containing mix of even and odd numbers. Next we have used a filter function to filter the even number from the list. The filter function applies the is even function to each element in the list. If is even function return the true, then only that element is included in the iterator object. Next filter function return the iterator object with the elements for which is even function return the true, that is even numbers. Next, to view the result in the list, we use the list constructor to convert this iterator object into the list of even numbers. Finally, we print the list of the even number using print statement. And when we run the program, we will get list of the even number, that is 24, 36, 54 and 90. The same program can be written using the lambda function. The lambda function lambda x colon x mod 2 equal to 0. Check if the number is even. The filter function applies this lambda function to each element in the list. The resulting filter object is converted using list constructor to view the result in the list of the even numbers. Finally, we will print the even number using print statement. When we run the program, we will get the list of the even number, that is 24, 36, 54 and 90. These are the references. Thank you.